We're doing the beanbag bop.
Bop, bop,
It's the beanbag bop.
bop, bop.
As you don't know, we have the video of Sam doing the beanbag bop up on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, buddy.
Get on there, watch it, like it, comment about it. What's the guy's name again that did the original beanbag bop?
Nate.
Okay.
Oh shit! Hold on.
No, it's on a playlist that we have. At some point, he may get us for copyright, but for now,
why don't we go shout him out?
Jack
Nate,
Hartman.
that's the one. That guy.
We should get him on the show. I'm telling you. I really need him on the show. Anybody who knows him, get him on the show.
Anybody who knows him.
We reach a lot of people. How
Wanna
many
know
downloads have we had?
I want to know the motivation behind the beanbag bop,
You like as Jack Hartman want to know, or you as you want to know?
Like I want Jack Hartman to tell us what his motivation when he wrote the beanbag bop was.
I tell you what, it wasn't to be on a sports podcast.
Maybe he would love it and win and like be super pumped and pay us to use his song.
I got at least like probably a half a dozen views out of us on YouTube just having to listen to it. So I mean,
he's probably like, why am I getting these downloads up so more?
Who the hell is watching this over and over again?
who's trying to get my stuff? Damn those parents of young children. No, sir. It's us.
All right, beanbag bop. Nate, there was a block in the back during the Cincinnati game.
It was actually not a block in the back.
There was a block in the back during the Cincinnati game.
Debatable.
That led to a score that should not have been.
Jim, I want you to talk about this because you took offense to this, and Nate and I were on the side of the officials who did not call it.
All right, let me go back a second. All I want to know, Nate, is if a quarterback is putting on a fantastic performance, can a referee get lost in that performance?
Oh, sure, you can get lost in performance, but if he does, he's not watching where he's supposed to watch it.
Can that happen?
Yeah. But that's why you have 6 or 7 other officials on the field.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jim. Continue with your dialogue.
I don't know that I can. I think Nate has threw a nice counter. Now, why is that not a block in the back from your perspective? It's during the Cincinnati game. I don't know who got the names. We all saw it. So if you want to describe it, because that's your role here on the show.
So as I'm watching it live, Mahomes is doing Mahomes-like things and running all over God's green earth and trying to find somebody open in the end zone. And I don't know, like you said, I don't know the names, but one of the linemen for the Bengals was on the ground. He's getting back up, and the guy honestly does hit him in the back, but he's not even up and off the ground yet. So that's why I don't think you can have a block in the back, because he would have had no effect on the play whatsoever.
He was pancaking him. He was putting him back on the ground.
From behind.
It was like he was sitting on them. Is it a penalty to sit on somebody that's on the ground?
He wasn't sitting on him. He hit him in behind.
So if he sat on him, it'd be okay.
But I'm just saying it didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
He hit him from behind.
He pushed him back to the ground.
I mean, I feel like it was very dangerous.
Okay, so is this a personal foul or is this a block in the back, Jim?
It's a player safety issue.
It was a player safety issue. Thank you.
He was Odell Beckhaming him.
He was not pooping on him.
There it is. So anyway, this was not called a block in the back on the field, but Jim was very adamant that it was through text messaging. Whatever. I disagree. It's line play. Things happen like that.
Okay. Carry on.
All right.
So later in the game, there were 2 plays that I've seen pop up on the Twitter world that have been getting some talk about no calls. The first one was, and I remember laughing about this until I looked in the NFL rulebook, saying that there were 8 men on the line of scrimmage on one of the plays for Cincinnati. And I think to myself, when I took the officiating class a few years ago, guys said, coach came up and told him, "Hey, they got 9 or 10 guys on the line of scrimmage." It's like, thanks, coach. They can have that. But apparently, in the NFL, you can only have 7 on the line because the last man on the line of scrimmage, if he's a tight end, cannot be covered. So I found the clip of, or not a clip, but a picture of that formation. And from what I can tell, it looked like they had an extra lineman in the game lined up at the tight end position. And then they had another player to his left as a true tight end. So it was an unbalanced line. But to me, I'm thinking, okay, you have one extra lineman, you have an unbalanced line. So he must not have to like report in as eligible. Because you do see that sometimes in the goal line formations, you'll see the officials go, number 72 reports as eligible or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was
which you didn't see that.
right?
What's that?
That was during overtime, right?
Right. So they're saying that should have been an illegal formation penalty for 5 yards.
Against the Bengals.
Yes. I find that the reviewing of that was also interesting.
They didn't review it.
Right. They can't.
Yeah.
And like New York could have, but chose not to. Am I correct there?
New York, that's not a reviewable play, so New York wouldn't review it either. It's like once, if you say somebody's down by contact and the play doesn't continue, then you can't talk about the fumble if there's no clear recovery.
But in overtime, in the playoffs, New York is the one to trigger reviews, is what I think I heard, and I could be wrong.
I believe it's in all overtimes, right? There's no coaches' challenges or anything like that.
Yeah, that's not just in the playoffs. That's all things are from the booth in overtime.
Okay.
All right. So, yes, Jim, the Bengals should have had a penalty called on them. I don't think that the outcome would have changed, if I'm being honest, but it may have made it more difficult. A more difficult field goal for my cousin.
I have a stirring the pot question. So because the Bengals should have had a penalty on them, but they got away with not having a penalty on them. And as Muff said, that did not affect the outcome of the game. How do you feel about that, Jim?
One more time.
So there was a penalty that was not called, but clearly was a penalty.
Yeah.
It didn't affect the outcome of the game, though. How do you feel about that? Was it still cheating?
That should have been called.
Okay. I just wanted to know if you felt as aggressively as that picture Nate shared when the Steelers guy lined up off sides. And I was like, but it didn't matter. And you're like, it's cheaters.
It's cheating. It should have been called.
Okay.
Is that cheating, or is just not being called? It's not cheating.
That was designed. Like, that was...
Oh, Jim, they literally have a play
stop
put together.
Coming at me and let me finish my sentence.
There is a play. They didn't design the play.
Okay,
they designed that. I'm saying the Bengals designed that play to get away with it.
Did they, or they just screw up because...
I don't think that was a screw up.
Well, no, that's what I'm not sure of either. It's they had the extra offensive lineman in the game, but he, again, was lined up in a stereotypical tight end position. However, there was a true tight end lined up next to him, and the receiver was off the ball. So the end man on the line of scrimmage attached to the line was not covered. So that's what I'm not sure of. I don't know the NFL rules that well. But in high school, that wouldn't have mattered because the end man on the line of scrimmage had an eligible receiver number and was not covered, so he would have been fine.
I was purely just stirring the pot.
I'm all about consistency. As I think the block in the back should have been called, because that was detrimental to the game because there was a block in the back.
See, that was a missed opportunity. Jim could have said we were stirring that Cincinnati Skyline Chili.
Oh, look at you, Nate.
Here's a good question for you, Jim. What's your stance on Skyline Chili?
As in the actual company Skyline?
No, as in the product itself, the actual.
So from Skyline Chili, or like, hey, I'm making Skyline Chili and I'm making it myself here at home.
Like you get it from the restaurant in Cincinnati. The restaurant in Cincinnati.
I'm not a fan of Skyline Chili.
You like Gold Star Chili?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if you can be a Bengals fan anymore, Jim.
See, I am a bandwagon Bengals fan. I've owned that. I am not a fan of Skyline Chili.
I wonder if I'm a bandwagon Bengals fan. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I am.
You are. We cannot get. You are a Steelers fan first. Therefore, you.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. No, I am a Steelers fan. I will say, I'm going to clarify. I'm going to justify my stance on rooting for the Bengals really hard. A, I was born in Columbus, and B, my mom's entire family is diehard Bengals fans, and I'm loving this for them. But, so I feel like, yes, I'm bandwagoning, but I'm not just like because I want to say a team I like.
That right, exactly. I'm from Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we're justified in the bandwagon. Like I had like a little Bengals mug when I was little because like my grandparents got it for me. So I've always like deep down like unless they're playing the Steelers or if it affects the Steelers directly, I don't care. I root for them.
Therefore, we are bandwagon fans. We are not fans.
Okay, I just was wondering what the clarification was.
Correct.
I'm not afraid of saying that. That's what I am, and then that's what I am. But as long as we're all in the wagon together.
If someone comes up to you and like, "Oh, I'm a Bengals fan," and they're like, and you're like, "Why?" and they're like. And it's just because they're in a Super Bowl, like that is like
yeah,
But I am from Ohio. On my bucket list when I was like 5 was to see a team from Ohio in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
this is a very happy moment for me.
It might happen, Jimmy.
I hope so. Well, it's gonna happen. They're in the Super Bowl. Win it. That's a whole nother bucket.
Oh, I thought you said it win the Super Bowl.
No, to be there. Remember, this is Ohio, buddy. NFL.
Just start small.
Go small.
Work your way up. I got you.
Okay. All right.
Anything else for the Beanbag Bob?
No, but I have one question for everyone since it's going to happen after the recording. What's the new Washington football team name going to be that comes out on Thursday? Or no, sorry.
I don't know. What Commanders?
I think it's Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders.
I think that's the odds-on favorite, I believe.
Yeah.
Say it again.
22, no longer the Mrs. Snyders.
I mean, I'm still gonna call them Mrs. Snyders, so they're still the pretzels to me.
There you go. That's what I was wondering. What is the real name?
Pretzels.
Pretzels.
Yeah.
Nate, wasn't there a hit on Matt Stafford that you had something to chat about?
Yeah, there was one. I think it might have been on that interception return. The linebacker Fred Warner for the 49ers came in and basically headshotted him, but got missed. So I wouldn't be surprised to see later this week if Fred Warner has a nice little fine in his mail.
Before we put the NFL to bed for a little bit till next week, Tom Brady said to Matt at Mad Dog Radio, "We are in such an era of information, and people want to be in front of the news often. I totally understand that. I understand that that's the environment we're in. I think for me, it's just literally day to day for me. As in, I'm trying to find the right moment where everything's perfect for me to announce the retirement of the GOAT." That's my take. And Shefty's not going to steal my thunder.
Shefty does what Shefty does. This is not his first miscue of the year. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
And that wraps up this week's Beanbag Bop.